Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Mental Locker Room. Today, I have an old friend named Jacob Miley, who was a UF track and field alumni, but I'll let him tell a little bit more about himself. So, Miley, if you would.
All right, so like she said, my name is Jacob Miley. I ran track at UF for 5 years. Freshman year was my COVID. It was COVID year. During those 4 year or 5 years, won three team national championships and one 4x4 national championship. Broke the collegiate record. I think it was my junior or sophomore year. That was for the 4x4. And yeah, just ran track pretty much since high school and got to Florida and met this wonderful person, Jules.
Thank you, Miley. Well, obviously, you have so many accomplishments, and that kind of brings us straight into pressure to perform because track and field is such a results driven sport. How
Oh
did
yeah.
you handle the pressure to consistently perform at that high level?
It's definitely a struggle. I'm not gonna lie. You kind of just roll with it. Like, I don't know if it's the same with a lot of people, but I like even in high school, I would be racing like people way worse than me, and I would still feel like an insane amount of pressure. I would go to meets and I wouldn't be able to eat. Like I'm over there, I won't talk to anyone. Like my parents and coaches knew until I run, don't talk to me because like I do not want to talk to anyone. I'm just locked in. I'm pissing myself, trying to make sure that I'm focused on exactly what I'm gonna do and I'm just replaying things in my head that I've gone through in practice, trying to get a race plan. And usually I'm overthinking everything, which happens every time. Like there's nothing good about it. Butterflies are going crazy. But once you kind of get in the race and start running, kind of all goes away and then you're locked in. But definitely the first 3 days before a race is it really gets to me. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can totally understand. That's absolutely crazy. And obviously, there's clearly moments when this pressure is overwhelming. How did you cope with these types of situations?
I would kind of try to get my mind off of it and do anything I can to not think of it. So like I would play video games, hang out with friends, go eat food, like, pretty much not be alone. Because if I'm alone until race day, I kind of don't want to talk to people. But the coming days before then, I want to do everything I can to think of anything but my event, pretty much.
I mean, obviously, you've ran for so long. Did you ever feel like your identity was tied to your performance since it's such a performance driven sport? And like, how did that impact your mental health overall?
Uh, it was kind of difficult freshman sophomore year of college because you go from high school being one of the best people in the country, never losing, and then if you do lose, it's against somebody who's insane as well. And then you go to college and everyone is just as good as you, and it's like, I'm not used to not winning every time I run. So I was kind of my whole identity, at least in high school, was like, oh, I'm the guy who wins, or I'm the guy who's always has a chance to win. And then kind of adapting to that freshman, sophomore year of college, like, I might not win. I got to focus on myself and focus on getting better in PRs and just take it one race at a time. It was definitely something I had to get used to.
That's I think a shell shock for a lot of people coming into college and college sports. You don't see it coming.
Yeah.
But I mean, even going into like external pressures, so coaches, teammates, social media, did that ever affect your mindset going into big meets or big races?
No, to be honest, I feel like I put all the pressure on myself. I feel like my coaches did a pretty good job of not putting any pressure on us at all. They Our one of our biggest things was they don't care if you win or lose, but you have to give it your all. So if you go out there and get second place, but you didn't run how you should, coach is gonna be mad. If you
Hmm.
go out there and run how you should, how you've been doing in practice and stuff, and you get last, he's gonna be happy because that's how you ran how you should. Coach tells everyone, don't be a superstar. Do what you got to do, and we'll be fine and we'll win. And I feel like that's something that kind of helped a lot. Social media, I never really pay attention to social media for like sports, at least track and field. I'm not sitting there looking at other people's time like, oh my God, I got to do this, I got to do that. So I feel like all the pressure was me to myself because I held myself to very high expectations when it came to track,
Yeah.
and I was just always in my own head telling myself, oh, I should do this, I should do that. And yeah, all the pressure
Yeah.
was pretty much me.
The pressure that you put on yourself, I mean, I feel it's so hard because you get performance anxiety from that. And I feel like that's
Oh
something
yeah,
that you learn when you're young. You start doing that when you're young.
yeah.
I mean, looking back on everything, is there advice that you would give to younger athletes managing performance anxiety?
I would say have confidence in yourself, even when things aren't going well. I had an issue where if I started doing bad, I would stop caring. So that was my coping. I'd be like, all right, I don't care, which doesn't really help at all because I do still care. I'm just telling myself I don't care.
Yeah.
But biggest thing is just to keep working. And sometimes it might not show. It takes a little bit of time. The best, every time I've ran my best or done my best is when I kind of put my head down and locked in all off season, didn't really do anything and just focused on training, focused on everything. That was when I always did my best. So you kind of just, you might have to take a few extra steps to be a little bit better, but it's definitely going to work out and it's going to make your mental health a lot better too.
Yeah, I mean, that brings us straight into balance also because, track and field does have such a grueling schedule even with off
Yeah.
season. How did you find a balance between training, academics at Florida, and your personal life?
It's definitely very difficult because track is dang near year round.
Mhm.
So even when we're not in season, we're training. I think we only get maybe a month off after season, and then we're right back to summer training. But we don't run until January. So like we're training from the summer all the way through fall into the winter, and then we start in January, which is indoor, and then indoor goes all the way till the beginning of summer, or indoor then outdoor, which ends about the beginning of summer. So it's a very long season, which is extremely difficult. And then especially if you go to trials or something like that, you're going way, way farther. So it's a big gap of just mentally preparing your body because a lot of people get burnt out.
Mhm.
It's hard mentally and hard physically to keep your body in race shape for that long, trying to get better, and then still having a social life, still keeping up with all your schoolwork. When you're at championship meets, you don't really want to do homework.
No.
Like, and then when you're training for so long, you kind of want to go see people, want to go have fun. It's definitely a big balance you have to do. You just got to take the opportunities when you can. You learn, especially in college, the times when you can have fun and the times when you can't. There's definitely championship season we're locked in,
Yep.
but during some summer training, we're definitely gonna have some fun. It's just a lot of balance with it.
Yeah, I mean, I totally understand. And I feel like so many student athletes also feel guilty when they take
Mhm.
time for themselves. And it almost feels like you're not doing enough. The next person
Yeah,
is gonna be working right now and get ahead of you.
yeah.
Did you ever experience in that? And how did you navigate that?
I definitely did, but the way I looked at it is a lot of superstar athletes that we know would also go out and not go crazy or anything, but they're gonna go out and socialize with people. That they're gonna take time to let their mind release, and they're not gonna always be so focused on everything. It's not healthy to just be completely focused on your sport. You have to go out, you have to socialize, you have to kind of let loose sometimes, but it's definitely a balance. You can't go crazy, but you also have to let loose.
Were there any strategies for you that you used to maintain motivation and avoid burnout through your career while going through all of this?
Oh, I feel like just setting a goal point. So biggest points with nationals, trying to win sit that when it came to like the relays and stuff, that always kept me going. It's a lot easier to I feel like to not burn out when you have real big goals in mind that you
Mhm.
can see that you're going towards. Because once you hit those goals, you can let loose again after that. But just finding a goal and chasing that a certain point, you can lock in through there, and that'll kind of keep your mind right and keep you focused.
So while you're reaching those goals and you're competing at such a high level, did you ever have to do anything to take care of your mental health, or was that just I'm locked in, I'm good to go?
I never did anything specifically, but definitely just having a good close group of friends around you
Mhm.
definitely helps everything
Yeah.
because you definitely need people to have your back and need people you could talk to about, need people you can complain to. You get home from practice and you're just mad at life. You want your roommates or something, you could just sit there and vent to them real quick. That definitely helps.
Leaning on your support systems is so
Yeah.
important, 100%. And especially you have that for so long also during college. And
Mhm.
now once you graduate, you're kind of transitioning out of that and you don't really have
Yeah.
that same support system.
Yeah.
So, how did you start mentally preparing for life after college? And was it something that you thought about during your career?
Definitely my senior year. I kind of put it off thinking everything until my senior year.
Mhm.
But senior year, I was definitely worrying about jobs and worrying about where I'm gonna go and stuff like that. And luckily, my parents let me stay with them for 4 months while I was figuring out where I wanted to move. And then I also had a friend from high school who just came back who ran track at a different school. So it's kind of just like good timing for everything. So me and him moved into an apartment over here. We kind of both work in this area. So that things definitely worked out. And I still talk to 4 or 5 of my teammates from back at UF that I still go up and see every so often. So I still got that group that I can talk to. So I definitely got lucky in that situation.
That's amazing,
Mhm.
especially considering that you are able to go see them sometimes. What was for you the hardest part about stepping away from track and field and stepping away from this sport that was your entire life?
My biggest thing is I miss competing and the team aspect of everything, just the camaraderie, training. Like we hate training, but then once you're like, done training, I kind of miss those days where I was dying.
Yeah.
It's kind of you feel like it sucks when you're doing it, and then you feel super accomplished after.
Yeah.
And just all of that mixed together is definitely something I miss a lot. It's just a grind. It's something that keeps you busy. It's something you're locked in on. Right now, I'm working and stuff, but it's definitely a lot different than sports. You're not having as much fun. You're making money. You can do whatever you want. I can be lazy all day if I want to, but that aspect of just waking up every day with a purpose. I'm going grinding for my sport, doing my schoolwork, hanging out with all the people who are on the same path as me. It's definitely something you miss.
Tying it back to when we first started to talk about identity also, did you experience a shift in your identity once your time as a student athlete ended?
Yeah, I definitely feel. I don't know. When I was a student athlete, I feel like your personality definitely revolves around being a student athlete. And now I definitely have shifted to just being like a working man who fishes and surfs. So yeah,
Is there any way that you worked through changing that shift in your identity?
not really. Like kind of. I think it was kind of natural because I've been doing a lot of this stuff besides sports while I was playing sports. So I kind of just removed the sport identity. I still go work out and stuff, so it's not really a sport identity, but it's still athletic at least somewhat.
I mean, has your experience as a student athlete shaped what you do or how you think of your current career and your personal goals?
I mean, definitely, I definitely feel like it helps me work a little bit harder when I'm doing certain mundane tasks. I kind of look at it as a workout or something. Like I'm digging or doing some crazy stuff where my arms are burning. Usually, if I wasn't an athlete, I feel like they'd be like, "Oh, I don't want to do this," but in my head, I'm like, "Yeah, it's just a little workout." I
It's
just kind
nothing.
of cope with it like that.
Yeah, it's nothing compared to
Oh no,
what you
not
used
at
to do.
all. Not at all. Not at all.
No, I completely understand that. I was at a this place today doing a rowing machine. And I'm, this is really not that bad, even though I felt like I was dying.
Yeah.
It's absolutely nothing compared to like, the dead mills we used to do.
Oh, yeah. Nah, those are horrible. I'll never do those again.
No, the worst things ever. That was absolute torture. So, I mean, if you could go back right now and talk to yourself about the transition out of sports or even during your career, is there anything you would say to yourself?
I would say it's spending so much damn money. Because before I started paying bills, I was just wasting my money because I was getting it, and then I was like, "Oh, I don't got nothing to spend it on." Now I gotta pay these damn bills. So definitely tell myself to quit spending my money and save
I mean, that's great advice, I think.
it.
Is there anything else that you want to add talking to, current college kids or kids who are play or starting to run and compete in track and field?
I would say soak it up. It definitely goes by a lot quicker than you think. Take it as seriously as you think you want to take it, and stay confident. Stay training as hard as you can, and just live life. You're not in college forever. Have fun, work hard in your sport, get your school done, get your degree, and do what you want with that. So yeah,
Awesome. Well, thank you so, so, so much, Miley, for coming on to the
you're
podcast.
welcome. Thank you for having me.
Of course, I seriously appreciate it. And this was another episode of the Mental Locker Room.
Yeah.